No more? What's cracking, everybody? Their Rose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. You just missed. I was trying to hit record while she was doing it, but she was yapping up a storm. Maybe she'll get started again soon. So she's back. Maggie's back. Still a little sick. Got everybody else sick, but that's okay. We're here to bring you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. Today's video, we're bringing you a team that actually was suggested from one of my subscribers here in the comments in one of my past videos. Robert Alexander shared this team with Trevenant, G-fisk, and Lantern, so shout outs to him for the team suggestion. I just kind of thought it was interesting. I kind of wanted to try Trevenant in the Great League, because honestly it feels like everyone's kind of forgotten it exists, and it's good. This is a good team. So let's check out these battles here. We got an Electrode on the lead, still in the rank like 16 area, so there's still some spice. Opponent pops in with a Pelipper, and I'm going to immediately respond with Lantern and just farm this thing all the way down. Yeah, this is why you kind of can't bring Pelipper into the Great League anymore, because Lantern is everywhere. It's on my team. It's on the other people's teams. So, very dangerous to bring Pelipper, but I think Pelipper is one of those picks that, like, if you're in a meta without a Lantern, you're in a really good spot. So, definitely think that this is probably kind of a good game already at this point, unless the opponent can hard wall the energy from my Lantern, which, based on the fact that they had Electrode in the lead, probably not. So I'm going to throw some surfs here. I've got plenty of energy. The opponent is going to have to throw energy in order to take out my Lantern at this point. I can throw another surf with good timing in the middle of their Volt Switch, and then I can go for a couple more Sparks, and I can overfarm to force them to throw the energy, which is ideal, because then my Trevenant can just come back into it. But my opponent overfarms and gets a little greedy on energy, so I'm going to be able to get to this other, third surf here and take out, almost take out, I should say, the Electrode. They do get the farm down here, so I come in with my G-fisk because that's going to hardwall the energy. They come in with an Obstagoon, and I'm like, shoot, this is not a good idea. So I do have to come in with Trevenant here, because if the Electrode is running foul play, I'd rather the Electrode stay aligned to my G-fisk. So I'm going to no-shield the first Night Slash here. I have to get rid of this Obstagoon. My opponent did go down to shield with their Electrode, so I'm going to just stay in here and continue to throw Seed Bombs at the Obstagoon, maybe see if I can get their last shield. I do notice that because of the Night Slash, my health is getting low, and at some point they'll be able to counter me down. So I can do one of two things here. I can either get off Seed Bombs and just don't shield when I get down to farm down range, and they get attack boost. So that definitely puts me in farm down range here. So I'm going to get their other shield, and then what I'm going to hope to do here is save my shield, excuse me, for my G-fisk. Farm down. I was going to try to catch the energy, but it didn't work out because it was a CMP. I just wanted to swap immediately, but that being said, I'm going to come in with my G-fisk, and I'm going to try and farm this thing all the way down, and then I'm going to go to land a I'm going to look to sick brain, can't think. I'm going to look to land an Earthquake on the Electrode, basically. I figured that the opponent's Electrode just pops in like that, so I'll just... They also don't throw a move right away, which was kind of interesting. I think they were just trying to... Maybe they overtapped, or maybe they were trying to get to something, but I'm going to go ahead and just throw a Rock Slide now at the... excuse me, at the Obstagoon and finish this game up. I think the opponent did make a couple mistakes there, but they played... I mean, they played well, all things considered. So, good game to my opponent. We're going to move on to the next one here. And this is rank 16. This is where things start getting big, but this is why I love this team, because Trevenant is like 9 times out of 10 is going to play a game like this. Who brings an Azumarill into a Trevenant, right? So the nice thing here is that I also have my Lantern in the back, which means I can preserve my Trevenant. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to swap in Lantern to catch the Ice Beam, but my opponent continues farming up. So I'm thinking either they don't have it, or they have gotten smart and decided not to throw right away, which is fine. Maybe they were expecting the catch. More power to them, right? But Trevenant literally just has caught so many great leads and just core broken so many teams going up to this rank, you know, rank 17, 18, and even beyond that. The opponents just don't have, like, they're like, oh, everyone's running, you know, Noctowl and stuff like that, so no one's running Trevenant. Like, no, we're running Trevenant. Me and my Patreon group took this team, and everyone's been sharing 5-0s, 4-1s, and great sets with it, and it's a really, really strong team for Open Great League. Probably what I'm going to be running for the foreseeable future. What's wrong? Are you upset? What's wrong with you? You cranky butt. So their Altaria is going to not be able to do a thing to my G-fisk, and I'm just going to lock in my Angry baby. I'm just going to end up locking in my Trevenant against their Medicham as it comes in. My opponent has lost the RPS fest here, and I'm going to be able to just Shadow Claw down. They're just going to quit the game, and that's that. Baby feet. All right, next game, here we go. That's one way to watch, I guess. We got a Shadow Venusaur. Now, this is actually really dangerous, because the thing is that if I tank one Frenzy Plant on my Trevenant, you're adorable. If I tank one move, that means that they can get both shields off of me and farm me down before I can take them out. So I'm essentially going to lose this match now. You see how low I've gotten? This is just dandy. So I'm going to try and... Oh, you took my earbud out and everything. Maggie, you demon. Put that back in my ear. Don't look at me like you don't know what you did. You know exactly what you did. Anyway, yes, Trevenant gets destroyed by Shadow Venusaur. That's why Shadow Venusaur is actually very popular nowadays in GBL, just because of that fact that it can flip the Trevenant matchup very easily. Now, my Stunfisk is going to come in and get completely annihilated by another Shadow Frenzy Plant because it's neutral and I can't really bring in my Lantern. I was going to hope to try and get to a Rock Slide here, farm this down, but at this point, if my opponent has an answer to my Lantern and my Stunfisk in the back, I'm totally screwed. What on earth are you trying... You want my... want my laundry. They bring in a Swampert, so at this point, I'm kind of boned. The best thing that I could potentially do here is land an Earthquake, and I'm not even going to get to that. So, this is pretty much a good game. There's no way... There's no way I have to be able to beat this battle, so... I got nothing. He ain't wanting this... This boy does. You saw him walk by, he says, I'm not sleeping. He's going to be miserable in 2 hours. All of you are restless crazies today. The Swampert is going to get a Hydro Cannon off. I don't know why they didn't just go for the Earthquake, honestly, but they have a Lantern in the back. I kind of understand that I'm kind of screwed. Oh my goodness, my ears, child. Hello. Are you trying to feed me my own clothing? You all don't really come here for the battles. You come here for the baby content. Trust me, I know.
Professional.
I know what all of you are here for.
There's no such thing as that.
And besides, we already know I lost this battle, so when she... Oh, okay. When she's being cute, it's better. It's better for the viewers because they get to enjoy me getting beat up by my 10-month-old. Which, she turned 10 months yesterday.
Okay.
So happy 10-month birthday thing? I don't know. She turned 10 months yesterday. We're supposed to...
We don't do that 100-day celebration.
No, we're supposed to celebrate the months until she turns a year old. Anyway, that's a good game. My opponent whooped my rear end. That's about all there was to it. Oh, looks like I forgot to take out the queue times between this one. So, thankfully, the queue times are quick, though. See? Told you. Real fast. Oh, now there's something on TV, and now she's totally interested in that. So, another Medicham lead. This is what I saw probably 9 times out of 10. And I've played quite a few sets with this team, and most of the time people were like, I'm going to lead something weak to Trevenant, and then have literally only one thing on my team that beats Trevenant. I already expect there to be a Lantern in the back of this team. I do. Because that's what the people are running nowadays. This is like Medicham, Lantern, Noctowl, and that's a great team and all. Until you see that one weirdo dude running the Trevenant. Y'all are a riot today. Oh, goodness. All 3 of these children are something else today. That's my older daughter in the back there. She's watching TV, having a great old time. So I got a little bit of health left on my Lantern and make sure that I'm not giving my opponent any more farm than I have to. And there's an absolute banger on the radio right now. So let's enjoy that for a moment. And watch as we Thunderbolt the... Thunderbolt the Medicham go down. Here comes the Trevenant. And whatever they've got in the back... probably not going to be great against Trevenant, even though you should be building double strength to Trevenant. Oh, never mind, they got an Umbreon. So, while this is not great, this is not exactly what I want to see, given that I've got a Trevenant and a G-fisk. I don't really have a strong answer to Umbreon, but honestly, that's why I like Umbreon in this meta right now, as a either a safe swap or just something in general, because it's just so neutral, and nobody's playing Charm right now, which makes it really strong. Medicham is about the worst matchup you're probably going to see for it. And even then, that's really not so bad. You can almost, you can put the Medicham down into the red with Umbreon if you're playing it with good timing. So, I'm going to go for the Earthquake here. My opponent's only got 1 shield. They have to use them on their Umbreon, so I'm either going to go for big damage or a shield. They let the Earthquake through, and she is just glued to the TV. Better than Better than crawling all over me and taking my thing. Do you want to go watch TV? Anyway, Medicham's going to pop in. I'm going to throw this Earthquake off because I just shielded. Make sure that I didn't have too little HP left. Opponent sacks the Medicham, comes in with the Umbreon, and at this point, my work here is cut out for me, but I'm going to go for this Earthquake here before the opponent can get to another move. I'm going to hopefully force this shield off of my opponent, and then I'd like to save my shield for my Trevenant, I think, which is a really risky maneuver. But what I can do here is I can actually either swap out and get to a Rock Slide and use the shield, or I can get to another Seed Bomb with my Trevenant using that shield. So I think that at this point, now that I've swapped in Trevenant, the better option here is just to save the shield, force the opponent to throw the energy, and then come in with G-fisk, get to the Rock Slide, and take the game, and that's still going to be well played. But they're not even going to get to it. I figured I was just going to try and get to the Seed Bomb at that point. Back and forth. TV. Battles. TV. Battles. Bastiodon lead. This thing is back, and I hate it. So I'm going to immediately save swap into Lantern here after doing a little bit of chip damage to the Bastiodon. Just as something to keep in mind that on this team, the Lantern is usually the safe swap. Stunfisk, while it can be nice, you usually will draw out with Lantern whatever didn't want to see Trevenant. So that could be like, you know, an opposing G-fisk, or it could be a Medicham, even them not knowing that you have... like this, you drew out the Medicham, which is what they didn't want on the Trevenant. So now it's going to allow me a chance to flip switch and potentially put my Stunfisk on their Bastiodon if my opponent doesn't win switch here, which I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to win switch, because at this point, they've let me get ahead on energy. They didn't shield, and I can no shield this move because I'm expecting it to be Nice Punch, and I think that was why I didn't shield, is because I counted only up to 6. That or I just took a complete risk on a bait. But anyway, so I'm going to be able to actually farm down here. I can shield this just in case it's a Psychic. My opponent, I think I just called a bait there in hindsight. But they went for Ice Punch. I shield it just in case it's a Psychic. Excuse me. Because the extra HP and energy is going to allow me to hit this Bastiodon, which the game doesn't register the fast move I was trying to put in, so that's unfortunate, but that's okay. The Surfs are going to do a ton of damage to the Bastiodon, and as soon as they see the G-fisk, well, that's going to be a problem, because they've probably got Victory Bell in the back, and that is no bueno for them. So I'm going to bring in my G-fisk here, and they're staying in, which means whatever they have in the back may not be a good response. So I'm going to let them throw the energy, and then after the Flamethrower connects, they're going to bring in a Sableye. So that they have 2 shields, I'm going to bait here. That's kind of what I have to do, because I'm not going to be able to go straight Earthquake in this matchup at this HP range and down to shield. So to even the score a little bit, I go for the Rock Slide, and then my opponent's just like, I'm going to call this bait, and I'm not going to shield. So this is why you should just go for the nukes, everyone. I usually just go for nukes. I thought it was being sly and you know, being smart here, but it really wasn't the case. So I don't remember how I played this out. I think I have to shield this. And they go straight for the Rock Slide. And that's hopefully going to force another shield off of my opponent. And I think all I'm going to do here now is come in with Trevenant. They decided not to shield. I'm going to immediately pop in with a Seed Bomb. And because the Bastiodon just threw its energy, I should be able to get to either a move, or I should be able to farm down before I can get there. Now, the opponent has thrown the energy into my Trevenant, which is great, because now they don't have it thrown to my G-fisk, and they're in farm down range. And instead they safe swap. They bring in the hello. Yes, I have to hit the button, child. Thank you. Okay. Ow. Violence. She chooses violence every day. Well, you saw what happened. The opponent didn't want their Sableye to get farmed down, so they came in with the Bastiodon instead to let that get farmed down. I don't know. I think they just kind of realized they lost at that point. So with Trevenant leads, you have to stay in with your Trevenant. Ideally, what you're going to do is you're going to want to shield, get 1 Seed Bomb off to force 1 shield off of their, off of their Trevenant, and then you're going to look to come out like 1 Shadow Claw ahead, or 2 if you can. You want to at least get 1 shield. If you get 2 shields, you're both going to go down, and you can't win the lead scenario. So it's always better to just throw the 1 Seed Bomb bait at some point, probably after they've thrown their first Seed Bomb, and then. Look, this person's entire backline's weak to Trevenant, so we're just going to go Shadow Ball here. If I can get their other shield, my G-fisk can potentially one-shot here. Now, I believe that this is a game that I saved outside of the sets that I brought in here. This game was incredibly close and super, super, just sweaty. So, just take a minute and just kind of see what's going on here. I know shield this because I don't have any shields. That makes sense. The opponent brings in the Azumarill. They are double weak in the back to the Trevenant. And the surf is not going to do anything because I should have just thrown the Thunderbolt, but I wasn't paying attention. So I'm going to get this Thunderbolt off right before Lantern's going to go down. Unfortunately, my opponent does not throw energy on a CMP tie, so I have to deal with the fact that they have farm, but at least I've gotten rid of the shield. So I think I'm going to come in now with my Trevenant. I want to come in with G-fisk, start getting ahead on energy. Yeah, I come in with G-fisk. I want to absorb the energy. I'm going to bank the fact that they don't have Hydro Pump. They should, but I'm going to hope that they don't. They have Ice Beam, which is fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and farm up enough energy, and I'm going to go for an Earthquake, I think, after this. And I am just kind of winging it at this point. Little contortionist over here. What are you doing? You fart in my ear again, I swear to God. Gonna go for the Earthquake into the Azu. I've got to do something here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try and catch. And unfortunately, I don't catch, but I am able to get the Seed Bomb off. And because of the HP on my Trevenant, I will be able to get to another Seed Bomb if the opponent tries to farm me down. So they're going to be forced to throw some energy. And if you remember, I do have quite a bit of energy left on my my Galarian Stunfisk, so I should be able to just pop in, get to the Earthquake, and then KO the opponent from there. So it's going to be all a matter of how much energy do they have, and thankfully I get to the Earthquake first, and that is going to be worth the button that I actually had ready to go this time. Takes out G-fisk with one shot and ends the game, and that was a sweaty but great game. Oh, I forgot to take the queue times out of this one too. Man, I was lazy. What did I do that for? Alright. Anyway, we got a few more battles for you here just to show off this team. Got another set. Trevenant and the Lantern. So once again, great lead for Trevenant. That's all I saw for the most part, was great leads for Trevenant. Opponent comes in with a Froslass. I could absolutely stay in and just farm this thing down with multiple shields, but I need to save it for the Lantern because I hardwall the energy. So because Lantern takes resisted damage from the Ice type moves, I will go ahead and swap in my Lantern, and thankfully I even catch an Avalanche, which is really great. So now I can safely also take a Shadow Ball when they get there, but I will go ahead and throw the Surf just to clip them from getting to it. Excuse me. Now that I'm already up a shield, I do believe. No, they did tank the Seed Bomb. With even shields, they have Lantern. I have alignment here. I just need my Trevenant to stay on the Lantern, and I think I'm good. And then G-fisk is usually going to be able to take care of really almost anything in this whole meta with a shield advantage. So that's how busted it is. So I'm going to play this out. There's no real need for me to, like, be fancy and try and swap my Trevenant back in, because I would imagine that they've probably got something in the back that hard counters Trevenant, because their Pokemon is the weakest to Trevenant. It gets walled by Trevenant. So I think it was a CMP tie, which is really good. You are a floppy little... You're floppier than the Lantern. You know that? So thankfully, this is now going to put this Lantern in perfect range for just a little bit of farm without being able to get to another move or anything. And then I'm going to come in with my G-fisk because I do expect there to be a Noctowl in the back of my opponent just as I'm done. I came in because I'd rather get the farm on my G-fisk rather than get a couple of Shadow Claws in on my Trevenant. So we got another great lead. We got G-fisk in the lead, and they're not swapping out. So what that means to me is that they've probably got something else in the back that is weak to Trevenant. What that might be could be a Medicham. So they're going to go for Rock Slide here. That's kind of what you want to do in this matchup. I'm going to go for a Seed Bomb bait. I want to see if they are trying to stay in to try and get shields off of me or something, but they actually know shield. Obviously, they know they can. So what I'm going to do here instead is I'm going to swap in my G-fisk, because I know that my Lantern can now play, basically take it out with a Surf. And so I want to see what they have in the back. And I bring out a Pelipper, which is okay. Had I won that lead scenario, I probably could have aligned my Lantern to the Pelipper at some point, but I wanted to make sure that I had a chance to draw out a potential counter to Trevenant or potential counter to Lantern. And I did not want the opponent to get a chance to, like, you know, align something that I didn't want. So I'm working on this right now, on this baby. It was crazy. You crazy child. So my opponent is going to be able to get to a Weather Ball here. I am going to shield it up because we did CMP tie, and I would like to get this Rock Slide off because now we are even shields, and I am in a good situation here. If I have to, I could come in and farm down with Lantern, but I would rather maintain the alignment for my Trevenant. But now what I do is I'm going to come in with my Lantern and hard swap because I want to see what else is in the back. They're not going to bring in their G-fisk back to a Lantern that has energy. So Opponent has a team that is essentially they're essentially ABA weak to Trevenant because this is a non-shadow Venusaur. The matchup is significantly worse for it. They do hard counter my Lantern, but that's okay because I can just come in now with my Trevenant, CMP tie them on the Shadow Ball, and then they got a G-fisk left, and there's not really much else my opponent's going to be able to do. So that's going to take out the Venusaur, and now their G-fisk is going to come in, and I'm just going to get to a Seed Bomb pretty much and just take it out. Now they do get to a Rock Slide, and I will shield this just to guarantee that I win the game. Wild children. Wild like the Tauros, Scarlet and Violet, like a Cyclar running across the screen. That's what it's like. So I'm going to go ahead and swap in here, trying to catch a Rock Slide. My opponent has to throw an Earthquake at this point to take out my G-fisk, so this is a pretty safe bet for me to just force the energy off of them because they're not going to have a Rock Slide to go in one move anyway. And I'm going to get to the Seed Bomb, and I'm going to take out the G-fisk! Whee! So G-fisk is going to go down, and that's going to be a good game. And here we go into the last game of the set. Excuse me. Defense Deoxys. Once again, it's like I don't pick and choose the leads. I have played several teams this season, and I've gotten so many times where I got hard counter on the lead and the switch. So it's nice to see that people have forgotten that Trevenant exists and are playing teams that are completely weak to it. I do shield up the Psycho Boost because I see that my Trevenant has value. The fact that they have stayed in this matchup and decided not to... they've basically decided not to swap out means they're also weak to Trevenant. Here comes a Wigglytuff. I'm going to swap in my G-fisk immediately. Bring out the Medicham. Look at that. Why would you play ABA Psychic? Wow, I don't know. I have no disrespect for my opponents, but these team comps are just... I can't. They're just... I'm sure you had a reason. I'll just leave it at that. So... my G-fisk is basically looking really strong here because it's going to be able to get clapped completely by this Medicham. Running Dynamic Punch, so I'm letting it go. I thought it would be like an Ice Punch or something, but that's fine. Trevenant still has value, and Lantern is the one that's going to be closing this game out because even though it's a neutral matchup for Lantern, it's going to be able to put a lot of pressure on with the spamminess of those Surfs. I'm going to throw a Seed Bomb here, maybe a second one if I can get to it. And then I'm going to let Lantern come in. Yeah, I'm going to go for double Seed Bomb, try to, throw the shield, or get them to throw up a shield. And then Lantern with full HP and a shield can definitely come in and get a couple of Surfs off and take out the Wigglytuff. And that's going to be a good game. And yes, this is the only Charmer I've seen pretty much, except for some A9s, the entire, last week and a half in Great League. So nobody's playing it anymore, and that's why it's totally fine with me. Because I don't really care for Charm in the first place. There's some times where it's fun for, a tactical Charm use, but, I just overall don't appreciate the move itself. But anyway, we're going to be able to take out the opponent here, and that's going to be a good game. Again, team suggestion by Mr. Robert Alexander in the comments last week, so thanks again for the team idea. I wanted to run Trevenant because I noticed that it seemed like it was doing so well against so many teams, and this is the one that, I saw it and I was like, man, this actually looks like a really good idea. So, real strong Trevenant team, probably one of the strongest for this Great League meta, if I'm being completely honest. So, check it out, try it out for yourself. Let me know how you do now that it's probably going to get popular, maybe not so much. But anyway, thanks everyone so much for watching, and we're both going to catch you in the next video because we're about to record it. Bye!